Welcome to Conversational with Carrie Olsen, where we explore what it takes to build a voice acting career that's authentically yours. I'm your host, Carrie Olsen, voice actor and coach, and I'm here to help you transform your voice acting approach, both in the booth and beyond. Let's get conversational. Welcome back to Conversational with Carrie Olsen. I'm Carrie, and today we're diving into something I've observed in the voiceover industry for years, what I call the culture of upgrading. This is the idea that success is always just one more purchase, one more course, or one more upgrade away. It's the little voice that says, if I only had that $3,000 microphone instead of my $150 one, or if I could just take one more class with that famous coach. What if I told you that the constant pursuit of better equipment, newer technologies, and more courses might actually be the very thing preventing your success? Today, we'll explore why this approach fails so many voice actors and what to do instead. But before we dive in, if you'd like to get additional resources for this episode, including a worksheet that we're going to talk about a little bit later, just text VOICE to 55444. As we all know, we live in a culture that constantly tells us we need the newest, the latest, and the best. The next iPhone, the next camera, the next whatever it is that promises to make our lives easier or better. In voiceover, this shows up in some pretty specific ways. It's the belief that your success is tied to external factors rather than internal ones. It's the thought that, well, once I get this microphone, then I'll be ready to audition for bigger clients. Or it's saying, I know I just finished that workshop, but after I take this next one, then I'll start doing email outreach. It's telling yourself, well, when my website is absolutely perfect, then I'll start making it public and start promoting myself. Earlier this year, I was working with a group of voice actors who had just joined my membership program, the Voiceover Success Intensive, and one of the voice actors shared something that really stuck with me. He said, I'm real good at the learning part. I've taken multiple courses with different coaches, but I need to start doing more. I learn, but apply. That's the part I need to get better at. And this isn't uncommon. So if that sounds like you, that's something that I'm prone to also. I've seen voice actors with professional demos sitting unused for over a year because they're waiting until their website is perfect before making it public. And meanwhile, potential clients can't find them at all. So let me share my own version of this story. If you know me at all or heard me talk about how I got started in voiceover, you know that I did not suffer from, well, I need to do these things first before I get started. If anything, I jumped right in and kind of had to learn to swim as I was in the water already. But one thing that I am prone to, I love technology. And so I am very easily caught up in bright, shiny object syndrome when there's a new software that comes out, when there's a new CRM that's going to make it so much easier for me to do my marketing. I do have the tendency to go down rabbit holes and, drool over the possibilities of this, new software that's going to make my marketing so much easier. Now, meanwhile, the time that it takes me to go and read all these different websites and watch videos and all this on these new software programs that very well might be great and might help my marketing, what I'm not doing is sending emails. And so who wins between the person who is just following all the clickbait and 100% falling for the bright, shiny object syndrome versus the person who just sits down with what they have and starts sending emails? And the real problem with the culture of upgrading isn't just financial, although that's 100% a part of it, but the hidden cost is what it does to your mindset and your momentum. I call this the drift tendency. So you get on a call with a coach or you watch a webinar, you complete a new course, and afterwards you're ready to just hit the ground running. You're making goals and you're super motivated, and that's amazing because you should be excited about your work and about your goals. But what happens the next day? The glow has worn off just a little bit. You're still excited, but again, a little bit less so than the day before. And what tends to happen sometimes is that it eventually just fizzles out right about the time that the next exciting upgrade opportunity presents itself. And then you kind of repeat that cycle again and again. So this creates a cycle that's really hard to break. You're always preparing to be ready, but never actually getting in the game. If this hits home really hard, I feel you. If you find yourself in that cycle of getting really excited about things and then nothing quite coming from it, or at least not as much as you had hoped, and then getting excited again about something else, you're not alone. I like to keep my audio chain really simple. I pretty much have my microphone and my interface, and that's about it. But I remember there was some blog or something that I was on, and it was a voice actor that I either respected or as an engineer or producer saying, oh, there's this channel strip that I use, and it's amazing. And he made it sound just like it was just something I absolutely needed. So I bought this channel strip for my audio chain. Come to find out, the specific model of channel strip that I bought was actually hindering the performance of my existing audio chain. So not only did it not help on a technical level, it made my sound worse. And I'm staring at it right now. It's been sitting on a shelf in my booth for years now. So I ended up spending all this time and money getting excited about and buying a thing that I didn't need when I could have just been focusing on trying to book work with the equipment that I already had. Now, one of the most insidious parts of this cycle is how it leaves you feeling like you're making progress when you're actually just standing still. The thing is, learning new things feels productive. Researching the perfect equipment feels like you're doing something important. But if you're not actually using what you learn and implementing it in ways that connect you with paying clients, then all you're really doing is treading water. If you're so inclined, you can find all kinds of tutorials on how to process your audio. And there are specialists who can help you figure out how to optimize your audio via processing. There are courses, there are YouTube tutorials. And I've talked with people who have gone down this rabbit hole and spent probably dozens of hours trying to perfect their processing chain. And when they finally come up for air, they realize they've spent all of this time and energy on something that actually wasn't helping them book more work. Now, obviously, you need to have clean audio, but you can easily reach and cross the point of diminishing returns when it comes to trying to, quote unquote, sweeten your audio. And of course, the opportunity cost is huge because while you're doing all of this researching on audio processing, there's very little going on with doing actual outreach or doing things that can actually help you to earn an income. So the opportunity cost is enormous. While you're obsessing over the perfect setup, someone with less perfect equipment is building relationships with clients. While you're taking one more course, someone else is implementing what they learned 3 courses ago. This is exactly why in our first episode, I asked you to reflect on your unique experiences. Those experiences are already part of your value proposition. No upgrade required. So if constantly upgrading isn't the answer, then what is? This is where I want to introduce a concept I call pre-marketing. Before Apple ever runs an ad for a new iPhone, they've spent countless hours defining what makes it special. Before Nike launches a new shoe, they've already determined exactly what sets it apart from every other shoe on the market. They've analyzed what it is that their customers and clients want and expect. In Voiceover, pre-marketing is about defining your unique value before worrying about how to promote it. What makes your voice, your approach, your personality, or your perspective different and valuable in ways that others aren't? As one voice actor who used to coach sports told me, if you're teaching someone else how to shoot a basketball, you don't just say, hey, shoot the ball into the basket. No, there are all kinds of little drills, little exercises, little repetitive muscle memory building exercises that will help that person to eventually be able to put all of those together to be able to shoot a basket. I'm always reminded of Karate Kid with wax on, wax off, when Mr. Miyagi is telling Daniel LaRusso how to wax the windows of the car. And he's doing these repetitive movements over and over again. And he doesn't understand at the time that these movements that he's doing, these exercises that seem totally disconnected from learning karate, are actually the building blocks that are going to make it possible for him to be a good karate person. What do you call it? A good karateer? That are going to make it possible for him to win fights with karate. Ninja, maybe? I think that's wrong. The point is, voice acting is the same way. Mastery comes from practicing fundamentals, not constantly looking for the easy out, looking for the upgrade, looking for the easy button or the quick win, which sometimes looks like buying a new class, taking another course, or buying another piece of equipment. What I fear is that a lot of voice actors underestimate the beauty and the power that they already bring to their voiceover work just from what they already have, from who they are, from what their experiences are. You don't have to try to sound like everybody else. Please don't try to sound like everybody else. Instead, embrace who you are, what your personality is. And if it feels like it doesn't quite fit into a voiceover paradigm, that's probably a good thing. And you should embrace that and think about how you can transform or enlighten or stand out, create trends, transcend the norm, or be hyper relatable, because I think a lot of us feel like we don't necessarily fit the mold. Premarketing is about identifying those assets you already have, your unique experiences, your perspectives, your abilities, and positioning them as strengths rather than trying to hide them or upgrade past them. If you're resonating with this approach, I'd love to stay connected. Text VOICE to 55444 to get exclusive resources for this episode and be notified when new episodes drop. I want to offer you an alternative approach to the upgrading mindset. It starts with a simple shift in the questions you ask yourself. So instead of asking, what else do I need? Ask, what do I already have that others don't? That customer service job that you had for 10 years? It taught you how to handle difficult situations with grace, a skill many voice actors lack when working with demanding clients. Your background in theater? It gives you an intuitive understanding of character and narrative that's rare in corporate narration. The years you spent teaching? They've given you an ability to explain complex concepts simply, perfect for explainer videos and e-learning. And those aren't things to overcome or to hide. They're your competitive advantages in a crowded marketplace. I can hear your voice. This shift in thinking changes everything, from how you approach auditions to how you market yourself. It transforms you from a voice actor desperately trying to sound like everyone else to one confidently offering something no one else can. And please don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying that equipment and training don't matter, because they 100% do. But they should enhance what's already special about you, not replace it or cover it up. I'd love to hear what unique experiences you're bringing to your voice acting career. Visit carrieolsenvo.com/EP2 to leave me a voice message about your background and how it influences your approach to voiceover. If you happen to have some experiences where you're like, you know what, I don't think that this does enhance my approach to voiceover at all, let me know, because I would love to hear that as well and see if I can't figure out how it can enhance your approach. This week, I want you to conduct what I call an upgrade audit. It might be painful, but ultimately I think it'll be super helpful and help you to make real forward progress as opposed to just feeling like you're making progress, if that's something that you're struggling with. It's a simple 3-step process. First, you make a list of all the voiceover-related purchases or courses that you've been considering. The microphone you've been eyeing, the coach you've been thinking about hiring, the software you think that might make a difference. Just write all of that down. Second, next to each item, write down exactly how it could change the outcome of your work for clients. Not how it would make you feel better, but how it would tangibly improve what clients receive from you. And I want you to be brutally honest here. Third, write down one way you could deliver more value to clients using something you already have. A skill, experience, perspective, something that's unique to you, something that doesn't require any additional training or an additional purchase. I have to emphasize again that this exercise isn't about never upgrading, and it's also not about only making practical purchases, but it is about making strategic decisions rather than purely emotional ones, or rather than ones that you trick yourself into believing are going to move you further along. But in reality, it's just one more course that you can, put on your resume that you took. It's about distinguishing between upgrades that will genuinely move your business forward and those that just keep you busy, but without real progress. I've created a worksheet for this exercise that you can download at carrieolsenvo.com/EP2. As we wrap up today, remember that your unique background isn't something to overcome in voice acting. Rather, it's your greatest asset. The culture of upgrading will always be there, tempting you with the next shiny object. But your success doesn't depend on having the most expensive microphone. Do not fall into that trap, or taking the most classes. It depends on recognizing and leveraging the value you already bring, and then taking action, breaking down bigger goals into smaller actionable steps so that forward progress feels more manageable and feels more real because it's less intimidating and something that you feel you can actually tackle one step at a time. Next week, we're going to take this concept further and explore how to find your voice beyond the booth, connecting your authentic self to your performance in ways that make both stronger. If you found this helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Visit carrieolsenvo.com/EP2 for the Upgrade Audit Worksheet and leave me a voice message. And don't forget to text VOICE to 55444 to stay connected. Until next time, remember, your voice is unique. Your path should be too. Thanks for being a part of the conversation today. I'm Carrie Olsen, and if you'd like to stay connected, text VOICE to 55444 for exclusive resources. Until next time, remember, your voice is unique. Your path should be too.